Turning Pages. I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Mary Beth.
Thanks for joining us. We're going to talk about kind of a timely thing, I guess, and bring it into the writing realm. Getting inspiration from what's going on around you is a big help to writers. And we know that it's Halloween season, the season of the witch. And so we thought we would talk about kind of an untapped segment in young adult, which is horror.
Right. If you Google YA horror, which I actually did recently, there's a lot of books that come up, but I know very few of them. And I feel that's because YA horror tends to be more paranormal than anything. The only book that immediately came to mind when I was trying to think of it was Anna Dressed in Blood, which I think is a good example of YA horror, but again, it's paranormal. So what's out there that's like straight up serial killer, whatever kind of horror, Mike Myers, Freddy, those kinds of things in YA? It's not really out there.
And there are so many things you can do with it. Of course, you can blend it with other genres as well, but, you know, to get that thriller kind of, and it could be psychological horror.
Right.
It could be, it doesn't have to be
thriller,
Freddy, right? But it could be something, you know, and we know that teens and that market, everything is exagerated. So everything is very, very dramatic. This seems to me like
it would be a perfect
place, right? Yeah. Right. So when we were thinking about talking about this, we're like, you know, having a good villain makes the horror, fuels the horror, right? And of course you can do an anti-hero, which is always really appealing because chicks dig a bad boy, right? But
not if he's trying to kill him. But, you know,
well, sometimes. Or if they don't know. You know, so just as a writer, as a reader, I know I'd like to read more. I definitely, Mary Beth's working on a horror piece.
For Nana, right?
I'm using something a little bit horror-esque.
Yes.
So I think, you know, capturing the emotion of fear can be challenging. So we suggest that you watch some good old-fashioned horror movies. You know, it's always young kids in a house alone at Halloween.
Going down into the basement when the lights don't work, you know.
Yeah.
I would really love to see an intelligent horror movie where they don't do that kind of thing. I want to see the people try to be proactive about not getting killed. And still, you know, then you kind of have your villain be, you know, extra crafty. Yeah, and, you know, there's lots of, you know, ways to make it modern because the internet stalking is very prevalent and we don't always know the faces behind the people who are posting and moving around. So that could be an area to look into as well. I just think it's important to kind of keep the dialogue open. When a market gets flooded, as we saw a few years ago with vampire stories, it's hard for writers to, you know, you can't write a story just because it's popular. You have to write what you write. You have to write the best story that you possibly can. But I think, you know, if you're talking in terms of career or you're talking in terms of maneuvering, you have to think what is untapped right now, and where will the market be in 18 months or whatever. We've got real life takes time to come out, so don't expect, you know.
If zombies are popular now, you don't maybe want to write about zombies.
Because by the time it comes out, they're going to be old hat.
And let's be real, we're living real life horror every day in the news and the media, and, you know, political elections and whatnot. So it could be something that the kids are hip to or keen to. Kids are hip to. Did I really just say that? But that you might be able to tap into that. I think it's something worth noting.
And even if you're not going to write a full-length novel, I think it's in your best interest to work on a short piece, a couple of paragraphs, trying to describe fear.
Building suspense and increasing the tension is good in any case, even if you're not writing something that's dark. You know, we still have those moments, whoop, thought so, didn't, you know, and it wasn't that way. Any time you can, as a writer, expand yourself and, if you don't write humor, working some humor in. If you don't typically write dark, working some darkness in. It's going to make your story more believable. Your characters certainly will seem more human. And tapping into an emotion that we all have experienced.
In one way or another.
Absolutely. So we just thought we would talk about that being, you know, ghouls and ghosts are out roaming now. And you don't have to go paranormal with horror.
There's plenty of other options. And I think when it comes to horror, your scenery plays a really important role.
Yeah, the setting is so important,
Again, it's something, you know, it's it often becomes a character in itself when it's dark out, the shadows and all those kinds of things. So again, another really great opportunity for you to build upon that specific talent in your writing.
Right. I mean, you know, I always think of Children of the Corn because a cornfield had never seemed scary, right? And
until you saw that movie.
When it's done correctly, you can take something that seems almost mundane and turn it into a very fearful setting. All right?
All right. We'd love to hear your ideas or read a little snippet.
Do you know any good YA horror books that we're missing?
Yeah, definitely.
We'd love to read them.
Okay. Until next time, literati.
Keep turning those pages.
Bye-bye.